What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ant, and today we're gonna make some delicious vegan Hey, come back here! Calm down. Like I said, we're gonna make some vegan bacon cheeseburger calzones, and they will be delicious. So first, what I did is took a small baking dish, and I took about a quarter cup of extra firm tofu, and I pureed it in the blender with about 1.5 tablespoons of water, and then I put it into some more water. Now you can skip the 1.5 tablespoons of water by just using silken tofu. I'm just used to buying extra firm tofu. You're gonna understand why I'm using this in a minute, but for right now, let's get that out of the way. So I greased up this small baking sheet and then I threw the bacon strips into it. You'll notice that a couple of them are falling apart. See, that's the only issue I have with vegan bacon, is that it falls apart kind of easily. But it'll be fine because I'm going to be crumbling up later anyway. Now what you want to do is throw this into a 350-degree oven for 7 minutes. So the bacon's done. So what we're going to do now is transfer them to a medium bowl. Oops, come back here. Transfer them into a medium bowl, and then what we're going to do is deal with them later. But you know what? I forgot that I actually need 6 strips of vegan bacon, not 3. So I'm sticking 3 more in here. And if you bake all 6 of them at the same time like you're supposed to, it'll take 8 minutes. So next what we have to do is get the beef ready. So I took about 3/4 of a pound of beef analog and separated them into 2 patties. And like I do with most of my proteins, I season them with seasoned salt and black pepper on both sides. One other thing you'll notice is that beef analog isn't exactly the most appetizing looking thing before it's cooked, but trust me, it'll be delicious in the end. Now it's time to fry the patties. So of course I have my large grease skillet on medium-high heat, of course. And you want to take the patties and fry them on 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the first side and 2 minutes on the other side. And you know what happens next. Transfer the patties to a paper towel lined bowl, pull that bad boy out, and then get to chopping. Okay, now we've also mixed the bacon strips in. But what we're gonna do now is get this out of the way. We have to make some room to make the dough. I mean, you can't have a calzone without dough, right? So here's the dough. It's basically pretty simple. It's just flour, baking powder, water, and salt. Oh, and some olive oil. Now, it may not look like it, but this actually makes 3 calzones. Oh, why do I make 3? Well, because first time I made it, I thought I was making 1, but then I rolled it all out and it became 3. Speaking of that, you're going to need a floured rolling pin for the next part. So, of course, the counter is all floured up. So, I think you know what happens next by now. You take our dough ball, put it right in the middle, and I said we're making 3 calzones, so get your floured serrated knife and get to work. Okay, they were cut into 3 dough pieces, so now we're gonna roll them out. And you are not gonna get anything close to a real circle. It might even look more squares than a circle, but that's okay. That lets you know it's homemade. Okay, now we can actually top our calzones. Now you're only gonna top the bottom half of it because you know we have to fold it over. So first what we have to do is put down about 2/3 of a teaspoon of olive oil. So we're gonna take our 2/3 teaspoon and oh wait, there isn't one. We'll take our 1/3 teaspoon and use 2 of the. Do they make 1/3 teaspoons? Well, all you can do now is take a 1/2 teaspoon, fill it almost all the way, and then put some at the bottom. Oh, and do that twice. And then we're gonna top it with some of our homemade tomato sauce. Oh, and leave some of the tomato sauce in the pan, about 1/4 cup of it, because you'll need that for dipping later. And then we're gonna top it with some mozzarella cheese, some of our beef and bacon mixture, and finally some cheddar cheese. Okay, we folded it over, and then this is where the veg wash, as I call it, comes in. Remember this? All you're really gonna do here is take a pastry brush and then just dip it in the wash and then coat the top of the calzone all around. It may seem kind of pointless, but you'll find out after it's done baking, it makes for a very nice sheen. Otherwise, if you don't put it on top, it'll just look all flourly and weird, like someone actually spilled some flour on top of it. It'll still taste good, but it won't look the greatest. And finally, we're gonna use our serrated knife one more time. You don't have to reflour it, but what you do want to do is score it 3 times, vertically that is. Just want to make some little air pockets for it to breathe. You don't want it to break apart when it's in the oven. Oh, this one could use a little more. And that one could as well. Okay, that's good. And speaking of breaking apart, the last thing you want after you did all that is for it to break apart when you're transferring it to the baking sheet. So that's why you still have your trusty pancake turner. Come back. There we go. Almost forgot. One other thing that you want to do, it actually is not compulsory, but never used that word before. Anyway, take a floured small fork and just crimp it closed all around. I mean, that'll make it easier for sauce or whatever is inside to not flow out, you know? And here's one thing I just learned. It's actually easier to crimp them after you transfer them to the pan. They're easier to transfer that way. Learn something new every day. Anyway, all 3 of them are finished. Finished being closed, that is. So now we're going to transfer them to our nice preheated 350-degree oven. Come back. I say come back a lot. And let them roll for 20 minutes. Now, aren't those some delicious looking calzones? Told you vegan food looks good. Now here's the thing, there really isn't an elegant way to eat a calzone, so what we're going to do is just take some of that dipping sauce we had, pick up our calzone that's all nice and fresh and crispy, dip it in, and if your food doesn't make you feel like that, you're not cooking it right. Well, that's all I have for you now. Thanks for coming by, and I will see you again soon. What? I said there's no elegant way to eat it.